I'm Jeremy Franklin. Welcome to MockCon Minute. Washington and Lee's 2012 Mock Convention is slightly under a year away, as it's scheduled for February 10th of next year. As we approach the quadrennial event, we want to hear from those individuals who are working behind the scenes, preparing now to make this Republican Mock Convention as realistic and as successful as ever. For our first MockCon Minute, we welcome Tricia King, a junior from Norfolk, Virginia, who is General Chair of the Mock Convention. Tricia, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
What does MockCon mean to W&L?
Well, that's a great question. We certainly throw out the idea of tradition when talking about MockCon, certainly along with the honor system and along with fancy dress. But I think one of the most distinguishing things about Mock Convention is the student participation rate. And that is usually somewhere above 95% of the students get involved with Mock Convention, whether they're a tri-chair, whether they are on the steering committee or a subcommittee, or they're state chairs, or even just on the Wyoming state delegation. Virtually the entire campus gets involved. Usually that 5% comes from students who maybe are abroad at that time. And so it's just something that everyone remembers and experiences once as a W&L student. And we can all talk about, and all, once we're alums, once we're 25 years old or 75 years old, we can all go back to our alumni events and talk about what a great time we had at Mock Convention.
What's our progress in planning the 2012 convention?
Our progress in planning the 2012 convention, this is like such an exciting time for us. We are well underway with making our final spring kickoff, all of our accommodations for that. So we just have a few final little details to put in place for that. And spring kickoff is basically a dress rehearsal for the real deal, for the real convention. Spring kickoff is in about 80 days from now. So with the backdrop of a beautiful springtime W&L campus, we're so excited to welcome panelists and speakers and alums and parents of students who are very involved with Mock Convention. And I'm just watching and along for the ride as the steering committee is putting that all together.
In your mind, what's the best part of Mock Convention?
There are so many good parts. But watching my peers be involved with the convention, of course, is a great thing. It gets me so excited. There's so many great ideas that are put out on a daily basis. We send upwards of 500 emails to each other every day about how excited we are and how great an experience Mock Convention is and has been and will be for everyone. But I honestly think that the greatest part is we are planning an event that we have never seen before. Because it comes along once in a college career, and it's just something that you can plan for and work toward, but you never really understand what it is until you're there. And still, even though you don't really know the tangible reward, the students are so driven and so motivated to make it just the greatest thing that this campus has ever seen.
Are there plans in the works that you think could make the 2012 convention better than ever?
Well, I love this question because, again, along with the idea of tradition, Mock Convention is something that always betters itself, but it never really has to be something that is better than the last convention, just because it's always been such a unifying campus event. But we have such a fantastic group of students working on the convention this year. And of course, in 2012, we will get the right prediction. I can assure you of that. We have a political team who has been working tirelessly, even sometimes more than they need to make sure that they know what they're doing when it comes to research. But we have worked very, very hard on forming connections with certain alums and just other political outlets that we've reached out to as students, interning on the Hill, for example. And I think that this lineup of speakers that we have already secured, at least some of them, I think it's just going to be a fantastic group and unlike anything W&L has ever seen before.
Tricia, thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing your hard work pay off next February.
Thank you so much.
Find out more on the 2012 Mock Convention at mockconvention.com. For MockCon Minute, I'm Jeremy Franklin.